Some minutes after 10 this morning, the Minister of Health nominee, Kwekwagyuma Menu, took the seat to be questioned as required by the Constitution. After initial formalities, the nominee was confronted with a question regarding the construction of new hospitals under the Agenda 111 policy. He also revealed that the committee that an amount of $100 million allocated for the fight against COVID-19 had been exhausted.
That was the president's vision, which was supposed to have been translated into action. Seriously, the president set machinery in motion. He set up a committee in the presidency, chaired by the chief of staff. I was a member. We pulled 1 or 2 infrastructure directors from my ministry, Ghana Health Service. There's also a fair representation on that. What they asked us to do immediately was to write to district directors for health services. The local government minister was to write to all these assemblies for them to allocate land and give us the site plans of where they wanted these districts' hospitals to be sited. As I speak, we still have close to about 13 districts that have not completed that exercise. Some of the districts, after they got the initial responses, there was a team that was set up. A coordinator has actually been appointed to coordinate this because the work volume is so huge, such that added on to our ministry's work in the midst of COVID will have meant that we wouldn't move at all. So they sent teams into various zones of the country that have been divided by the coordinator and the team that is working on these 38 hospitals. Some of them have litigation matters, and so we have to find a way to settle them. We are still working on these, and contracts have been awarded, and we are waiting to do proper short-cutting for all these things, actual construction to start. The preliminary works have actually been done. We are not waiting for the ones that have been submitted and finished with land issues, but we've started working on them. We face challenges in the midst of COVID. Things were not moving the way things should have gone. And that is why you will see we might not have started serious work on any of them. But our target was to have at least reached length level by close of the year. Unfortunately, we couldn't get there, but we are working seriously on this matter.
The testing of travelers for COVID-19 at the airport at the charge of $150 also came under the radar. Questions in relation to the procurement processes linked to the tests were asked.
You remember, initially, we got $100 million allocation to spend on COVID. All that had been exhausted. We have got another money that's just about to mature for us to utilize.
Chairman, how much?
That is about $120 million from the World Bank.
World Bank?
Yes.
Is it a loan or a grant?
It's a loan.
The alleged misapplication of resources from the Global Fund at the ministry was also questioned. The National Security Minister designate Albert Kandapa was next to take his seat. During the vetting, he disclosed that he was alarmed at the sight of military personnel in Parliament during the election of a speaker on January 7, 2021. The Sector Minister told the Appointments Committee he later found out an unnamed commander sanctioned the military personnel to invade the lawmaking chamber.
I saw it. I was also alarmed. My colleagues were equally alarmed. All of us in government were alarmed that something like that had happened. So I did take the trouble to find out how it happened. Honourable Member, it was that simple. Somebody, a commander, in his opinion, thought that things were getting out of hand in the chamber and that they needed to go there to try to restore order. I posed the question, to restore what order? Did you think our presence there was going to frighten the members of Parliament? No. You were not going to be able to frighten them. Were you going to arrest them? No. You couldn't have arrested anybody there. So I asked, why? What was the motivation for you to have gone there? I can only say that this is something that should not have happened. I'm happy that, yes, they did come there. It was as bad as you say, but no harm was really caused to any member of Parliament. And let me agree with you that going forward, this is not something that we should encourage, and we hope that it doesn't happen again.
A follow-up question. Honorable nominee, given the magnitude of the problem, the fact that Parliament is the fulcrum around which our democratic dispensation revolves, and the fact that at the point in time when the said commander decided to storm the chamber, would you recommend, as a minister, if you're giving the nod responsible for national security, that the said officer be sanctioned to serve as a deterrent to like-minded officers in the future in the name of preserving our democracy?
I do know, Honourable Member, as the government, the President representative at the Ministry for National Security, that yes, the CDS has been asked to investigate the matter and to take the appropriate action if he also comes by the conclusion that what was done was totally unprofessional. So it's not that we will do something if we come back to power, or if I get a nod. I know that orders have already been given for the CDS to take appropriate action. And I agree with you, nobody should underestimate the significance of what happened.
The National Security Minister designate also clarified the military deployment to the Volta region in June 2020 and said it was to foil a possible terrorist attack on the country.
Fight against terrorism. We had concentrated on the northern border, close to Burkina Faso. And still when you go there today, we have quite a number of soldiers there. We thought that any infiltration would come through Burkina Faso and into Ghana, and that they will pass through that route. Neighboring countries had done the same thing. Ivory Coast had also strengthened its borders with Burkina Faso, and Benin had done the same thing. Two things then happened. There was an attack in Benin, and they didn't use that route where they were expecting them to pass and where they had sort of fortified the borders. Then there was another attack in Côte d'Ivoire, and again, the terrorists did not use the border that everybody knew they will use. Armed with this information, we took the decision at the National Security Council that no. It would be wrong to keep troops only at the northern border. They can come through any other place. So please keep troops on all the borders, all the land borders in Ghana. Please get troops there. As a result, we sent troops to the border with Togo, just as we sent troops to the border with Côte d'Ivoire.